Okay, so the question was NewSpace. I mean, sorry, space ups. Why they're so different? Well, unlike a formal conference where everything is scheduled, you're one of hundreds or thousands of people listening to a single person talk. There's no interaction. I mean, you may mingle a little bit with your neighbor, but there's not a lot of conversations, not a lot of sharing. Here on conferences, you actually meet the people in these companies. And it's not the president or CEO, it's the engineers, it's the people that are actually doing the thing, the metal bending. They're building rocket motors, they're designing and testing the avionics. I mean, there's a real connection there, unlike with other conferences. So, and it's not just engineers too. I mean, you've got everybody from lawyers, space lawyers, to space advocates. It's everything from the enthusiast to the hardcore engineer doing stuff. And the fact that they all get to mingle and share ideas and come up with some interesting solutions. And there's a lot of conversation about what's good for space and what's not working currently. And so that a lot of this, all kinds of things are possible. I mean, new companies, new ideas forming, even some action, with promoting NewSpace and the things that are happening currently. It's all very exciting. I mean, it's not just NASA anymore, and that's the exciting part, is that it's really opening up. So you get to hear about those kinds of things here because it's very current. I mean, that's the other thing, unlike a formal conference, is that those topics tend to be scheduled far in advance. Here you can talk about what happened last night. If there was a launch or there was something that happened. It's very current, I mean, to the moment. And that makes it much more connectable, I think, as well. And you really relate to what's going on. Yeah, the idea was born from, we actually borrowed the idea from the software industry. They sort of formulated these kinds of unconferences, and it was based around software and problem solving and idea generating. And so we decided it was, we wanted to bring together a lot of these new space companies, and so this was sort of a perfect format to do that, where everyone would be able to bring them what they're doing in a way that they could share it with all the rest of the people that were here. So, but it's after the first one, which was only a year ago, we've had 3. I mean, there's been one in DC, one in Houston, this same weekend, and then ours. And then there are more already we had people contact us from London, England, and all the way from India, looking to do a space up using the same format. So it's catching on, and I know there's going to be more. I mean, there's been talk about ones in Florida, Minneapolis. I mean, so there's all kinds of idea, this interest that's being generated from Space Up. So again, it's people like you and I that can put this together. It's not a conference that takes big bucks to do that. I've been a space enthusiast since I was a kid. I mean, it's just one of those things that's always been part of my life. And about 10 years ago, I became active in the San Diego Mars Society, and because they were doing things. They were building these Mars analog research stations. They were looking to build a Mars biosatellite. I mean, they were actually out there doing stuff. And that at the time was the best opportunity for me to be involved in space and space exploration. So I was very excited about that. And I was happy to be involved with the group here. And but that eventually led to me co-founding the San Diego Space Society about 3 years ago, actually. So, we sort of wanted to expand beyond Mars. I mean, I love Mars. Mars was one of my favorite subjects to talk about, but there's a lot in space going on. So we wanted to kind of expand and bring in all kinds of people, bring them together. So we had the ability to create a chapter of the National Space Society, and with that, we've been growing ever since. And out of that have come things like Space Up. We've developed the Space Up Regional Conference. We have a location in San Diego where we have a workshop, lab areas to do hands-on projects and programs and other things. It's part of our Space Travelers Emporium. I don't know if you've heard of that, but the idea is not only to be sort of a storefront, but it's to really promote NewSpace and educate the public as to what's going on there, because a lot of them just don't know. They hear a little bit about what's going on with NASA, but the other stuff is just not on their radar. So if you walk by the storefront and there's a spacesuit in there and there are rocket ships, model rockets and things like that, people stop and go, what is this? What is this about? What are you doing? And so we get more inquiries just about what it is that we're doing, and of course what we're doing is explain to them that this is for you. These are things that you can do, participate in. Astronaut training at NASTAR, zero gravity flights, soon suborbital flights, on the 6 different companies that are building rocket ships to take you to suborbit. And people just light up when everyone's got this affinity for space, but when they know that it's something that they can actually participate in, they're like, oh, this is going to be cool. Some of the prices are above most people, but they know that it's not the millions of dollars that millionaires have to be able to do it now. It's something that's within reason and approachable by them.